So you just got the job, you're moving to Austin, or maybe you just came here for a visit and fell in love with Austin, and you're in the process of deciding to move to Austin, and you're thinking, now what do I do once I move there? Well, this video is for you. I'm going to talk about 7 things you should do right when you get to Austin, right when you move here. And I'm also going to give you a couple things you should not do when you get to Austin. This is Austin, Texas area living. This is my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, like my videos, give me some comments, give me feedback, and let me know other videos you'd like to see. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So the very first thing you should do when you move to Austin is pick an area to live. Seems pretty straightforward. I have tons of videos on all the different suburbs, all the different areas of Austin to live in, but it's not as easy as you would think. There are a lot of different areas that have different cultures, different types of living, and so it's important for you to kind of go through and figure out what's going to be the best for you. Some things you'll obviously want to take into consideration are cost of living, type of home that you want to live in. We have really old homes that were bungalows built in the 1800s, all the way to brand new homes that are still being built today. Proximity to where you're going to work, proximity to the things you're going to want to do in Austin and the things you love about Austin. So there's a lot to take into consideration, and it's not as straightforward. Check out some of my other videos, I'll link them here, about places to live in Austin. The next thing that you'll want to do, if you haven't already, is try out all the food in the city. Austin has some great food choices, and you could literally eat at a different place every night for more than a year. Anything from food trucks to really casual dining to takeout to eating in the park, all the way to high-end dining, a lot of fusion, a lot of different types of foods to try, and you'll find that there's some really great options. Of course, Texas, and Austin specifically, is well known for its tacos. You could eat tacos every day, all day. I've been guilty. I think a few weeks ago I ate tacos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So lots of taco choices, again, from food trucks all the way to high-end Mexican food restaurants. You'll definitely want to check out the barbecue. And you have some of our traditional older places that have been around forever, as well as some really great new barbecue places around town that are getting really good reviews. And so there's lots of options for barbecue. But then Austin does have a food scene outside of the traditional Texas food. Outside of barbecue and tacos, we have some great choices. Like I said, high-end food. And so you'll want to take some time to get to know the food culture here in Austin. The third item that you're definitely going to want to do once you get to Austin is step into nature. I love, and this is one thing that many people love about Austin, is this city was built around rivers and lakes and green belts. And so there's a lot of opportunity for you to step into nature. And depending on where you are, what part of town you're staying in, I would just look into your closest park, your closest green belt. Depending on the time of year, it's a good time to hike in the winter. It's a great time to go on get in some water in the summer. And so research nature in Austin. And then if you go outside of the city, there's state parks all around that you can explore. It's really endless. There's a lot of nature, and it's really great for a mood booster to just get outside and go explore in the city of Austin. And you can do anything from, again, walking, paddle boarding, mountain biking, roller skating, all kinds of ways to explore nature, yoga in the park. And that's what people love about this town. It was built around a river. It was built around nature. Maybe you don't feel like doing anything with a lot of energy, just going to a park, sitting on a blanket. There's so many options. The main park, Zilker Park downtown, is huge. That's where we have Barton Springs, which is a cold spring, and you can go swim in it, especially it's great in the summer to cool off. But you'll see there's people all around nature in Austin and outdoors. And that kind of draws the vibrancy to the city. There's just people outside all the time doing stuff, and you'll probably be drawn into that if you like the outdoors and you just got to Austin. So start exploring nature in Austin. It's great. The fourth thing that you'll want to do once you get to Austin is meet people. And the way I did that when I got to Austin in 2017 is picking some new hobbies. And you'll find that there's endless options. Austin has the saying, keep Austin weird. And so you can get hobbies that are really weird all the way to hobbies that you'd find in any other town. But you'll want to pick up a new hobby, or at least give something a try. You don't have to keep it as a hobby, but give it a try. And some of the things I did when I got to Austin, there's a great dance scene, all kinds of dance, whether you like salsa or tango or swing or ecstatic dancing, all kinds of dance in Austin. And so that's what I did when I got here, is picked up a few new hobbies. Lots of other things, as I mentioned, nature. So there's lots of endless things to do in nature. I see groups of people that go biking together. I see people that go running together. There's a marching band you could join if you want to play an instrument. There's so many new hobbies. And I like to use the Facebook events page or meetup.com or eventbrite.com to go in and check out what's going on around the city. And you'll probably be overwhelmed by all the things there are to do in Austin. So I recommend that. Try a new hobby, get outside of your comfort zone. That's where all the community is built in the city, and that's where you'll make friends. That's where you'll meet new people. Everyone is super friendly. Even in the dance scene that I'm in, comparing it to other towns, I find that it's so supportive, opening, friendly. And so I recommend that you get out there and try something new. Okay, the fifth thing goes right along with the previous item as far as picking up a new hobby. I would explore all the events in the city. So we have lots of annual events that happen every year. Some of those are South by Southwest, Austin City Limits Festival, Formula One. We have our soccer team here in Austin. University of Texas has football and baseball and basketball. So lots of events that happen on an annual basis, as well as events that happen one time, or new events. And so you're gonna find that this city has a lot of events. If you're someone that likes to be out and about and doing things, I recommend picking a few of those. It can get quite expensive. All the ones I named are not cheap events. So maybe pick an event or two or three that you want to do this year, put it on your calendar, block out your time, save up for those tickets, and plan to make it happen. They're a lot of fun, great way to meet new people, great way to get to know the culture of the city, and really to start to immerse yourself in the Austin culture. So put some of those events on your calendar, plan for them, and same websites that I mentioned above, Facebook events. There's a website, Do512. Some of the events have their own websites, obviously, like South by Southwest, Austin City Limits. So check out those websites and add them to your calendar. Okay, the sixth thing you need to do when you get to Austin, maybe not first day, maybe in a few weeks, first month, is visit the Hill Country. So Austin is a very high energy, bustling little small city now, and the Hill Country surrounds Austin. And so there's a lot of, as I mentioned, state parks, small towns, little places to get away over the weekend, maybe get an Airbnb and travel to Fredericksburg, which has its own wine country, or you can travel to Purville, which is another small town. But it's really great to get outside of Austin and explore what's around it. As I mentioned, there's state parks. There's one called Lost Maples that's about an hour and a half away. I'd have to check how far it is, but Lost Maples, in the fall, you get to see a ton of maple trees that turn those vibrant colors. If you go about 2.5 hours away, Gardner State Park has the Frio River where you can camp and you can float down that really cold river in the hot summer. And so you'll want to make visiting the Hill Country an opportunity for you to explore outside of Austin. A lot of people don't even need to take trips to faraway places because you can take an hour, hour and a half trip and really feel outside of the city and explore some of the hidden gems around the city of Austin. Okay, and then the last thing I recommend if you're not moving to Austin for a job is, and this was kind of out of left field, but I consider Austin a great place to upgrade your career. We have a lot of education, universities, business classes for small businesses. I took those when I got started. A lot of employers, a lot of tech employers, as well as other types of employers. So it's a great place to explore your career. And maybe you did move for a job, but it's still good to look at what options are out there. In addition to all the education and employers, there's a lot of business networking opportunities. As I mentioned, people are always out and about in Austin, and in the business world, that's no different. So I like to spend my time doing a lot of business networking, and I find those events on the same places that I mentioned some of those others: Eventbrite, Facebook, meetup.com, there's other websites. But it's a great way to meet new people, whether it's, friends that you'll make long-term outside of business or friends that you'll make within business. A lot of opportunity. So maybe you moved in for an employer, but have thought about starting a small business on the side, or maybe wanting to start a small business full-time. I think it's a great city to do that. It's very entrepreneur-focused, and that's what I did when I got here. I was still working for my same employer, but then over the years, I was able to start my own business on the side and then full-time. So an option you want to look at is upgrading your career, and Austin is a great place to do it. Okay, so I mentioned there were going to be 3 things you should not do when you get to Austin. All of this is subjective. It's all my opinion, of course. But the very first thing I'm going to say is don't waste the good weather days. Austin is really 2 seasons, hot and cold, and you get a few weeks between those 2 that are really great days. And so I don't like to waste those days. Basically April, May timeframe, and then October, early November timeframe. It's like we almost get a second spring in fall. And so don't waste those good days. Those are the times to go out to the hill country. Those are the times to go walking in nature, to go to any of the festivals that are happening during those times. And you'll see that a lot of the festivals we have are during those times because the weather's great. That's also when people fall in love with Austin and decide to move here, and then they don't realize what they've signed up for when August hits or February when we get freezes. So Austin can be a little bit extreme during those times of the year, so don't waste your good days when you get here. If you get here during that time, definitely get out and explore. So the other thing you don't want to do is just stay in your neighborhood. It's very easy to do that. People do that all the time. They find a good local restaurant and they just hit that same restaurant over and over. Maybe see some of the same people. I'm not saying don't do that. That's great. We have great community here. But get out and explore. Austin has so many unique areas. That's one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel, is different cultures in different areas, different landscapes in different areas. So it's a great city to explore. You definitely want to get out of your neighborhood, get out of your comfort zone, and don't just stay in one place. Okay, the last thing I'm going to say, and I've heard this over and over, but don't be ashamed where you've moved in from. We have a lot of people over the last several years that have moved in from California, moved in from New York. They get a lot of words about it from other Austinites saying, we don't want any more Californians. Don't be ashamed of where you came from. The city is becoming a melting pot. It's growing. It's becoming culturally diverse. And we don't want anyone to feel ashamed where they came from. I personally want Austin to keep that really open culture and accepting culture. So I would not be ashamed to tell us where you came from. Most people that live here now have not lived here that long. So let us know where you're from. And I would love to hear from you. Anything we missed that you should do when you get to Austin. If you need help finding a home, my name's Julie Hutchison. I have a team of realtors, Hutchison Property Group. My phone number is 512-309-1991. Feel free to reach out. Let me know if I can help you with a rental or a purchase or selling of a property. Thanks. Bye.